touchdown, we win, boom. Woo. Yeah, right. That ain't very sexy or funny, right? Probably you know me as Bob Mortgage. Hopefully, if you do, that means I've done a very good job with my branding. If you don't, I suck then.
Looking at the city like I already own it. Standing on top 'cause I earned this moment.
I do mortgages, right? Been doing this for a little over 22 years. Been blessed to provide financing to over 25,000 families in that time period.
Hustler, yeah, I'm a hustler. 'Cause I'm a hustler, yeah, I'm a hustler. I didn't come from looks, oh, no diamonds.
I really have focused my business on 3 pillars: educate, communicate, and execute. My biggest thing is the education side of what I do. People ask, why do I have somebody follow me around all day, every day filming? We produce content all day.
Keep turning up the heat. I keep turning up the heat.
We do a lot of, from the macro, and we do a lot of micro stuff that really gets out there to help people understand how easy it is to buy a home. I do this, I invest in this stuff because I believe, one, as an industry we suck at communicating. All we know how to do is quote a low rate. That's all that we do is advertising to get people, entice people to come to try to do business with us.
I ain't afraid of the pressure when it comes on stronger. 'Cause I'm always pushing through, I'm always going harder.
And I want really my voice to be the voice that's heard, that people really trust that it is easy to buy a home.
Keep turning up the heat. I keep turning up the heat. Keep turning up the heat.
Take it from there. So appreciate you guys giving me some time today. Thank you. Hello. Yes.
So we were just talking a little bit about, we obviously have a connection, with her, and we just kind of talked about that, and then she said, when she saw you in Frisco the other day, she was like, you know what, I really want to do business with them. The last.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, he's doing something right. So the last few transactions that she's had, that she has been in movement, and there's no problem or anything like that there, but
Nothing.
she just feels that, there's, and I'll let you take it from there because I feel like this is where Bob wants to.
Yeah. I was just telling Jen, even though there's no issue there, they have that 14-day quick close product, and that's worked for me. However, I just think there's something to be said about wisdom and longevity and experience that a lot of my clients have all these precarious needs, and being able to assess those and quickly either determine we can do it, we can't do it, or here's the path to get it done is something that's really important to me because I service the full person. I'm not just trying to close a loan or a deal. I really, really want to be solution oriented.
Yeah.
So that's really important to me.
And the quick assessment of where they are and what they can do is so important because it feeds into the experience they're having.
Yes.
I've seen people where they drag out a yes and they make it very difficult to get to that yes without setting that proper expectation up front. And then ultimately, even though there's a yes, they just don't feel good about it. They don't feel good about the experience they went through. They're not very happy. And so sometimes a quick no is better than a long yes.
Yes.
Right? But if you set the expectation up properly with that client, you let them know how difficult it could be or what we're having to overcome to get to that point, as long as they're buying in to it, then it's okay.
Right.
They just have to buy in, and you have to be really, really good, and I say you, meaning us, have to be really good at communicating that proactively to the buyer.
Right. And, the other thing that really, I would say, would probably differentiate you guys from the experience that a lot of my other clients have had is, the whole millennial thing is great and the, let's text, let's do that, but a personal experience for my clients work better. In fact, I had one client that was very offended because they didn't hear anything or there was no communication outside of the initial contact and those kind of things.
It all starts with the handoff, right? you're so important to setting setting them on the right path to how that relationship's going to work with you, with us, and with them, right? So, we always like an email introduction because it goes to, my team email, right? And everybody on my team gets it.
Okay.
And so there's never anything lost.
Okay.
If they dead into my cell phone, I keep this here and always here because I watch text, because agents typically text me, and when they text me, I need to know if it's immediate. Do I need to, can I say, hey, give me 5 minutes, whatever it is, and then I can be really intentional in our conversation. But I don't like clients here because then it dead ends, and then that's not a good experience for them. Time kills deals, right?
Gotcha.
The longer they wait on me, the worse it is. That's why I have a team. So I use the email. They come in, you make an introduction to Jim and Janice. Jim and Janice, I'm going to introduce you to Bob and Team BobMortgage. These are the mortgage guys I was telling you about. They'll obviously take care of you, whatever. I have a script I can email you, but there's whatever you feel comfortable saying. And then Bob, Jim, and Janice are looking to buy a home in the next 30 days. They, are interested in down payment assistance, or they would like to know about an ARM product, whatever you're getting into that helps us kind of understand where that client's going. And here's their phone number. Please reach out to them. And you've copied Jim and Janice, so there's their emails. First thing we're going to do is call them. Get them on the phone. Okay? We never use the word application, so I want you to strip that out of your vocabulary because it's not a feel-good word. From a psychological standpoint, people go to the negative side, typically is where people go to. So we just want to have a conversation with them. And that conversation is centered around these items. I want to know where you live and work for the last couple of years. We want to talk about your income. We want to talk about, what kind of assets you have. And we're going to look at credit so we can understand kind of where you are, where you're wanting to go. That's an application, right? But we don't use that word. And it's amazing what you get in a conversation with them, right? You get everything. Then it allows us to deliver that pre-qualification. Then we can immediately send out an email to say, here's the portal where you can securely upload your documents. Here's the items that we need from you. And then, because I don't want them just emailing documents. No, they can come by and drop them off or whatever. We can send a courier, pigeon them. I I don't care. I want them here securely, not via email, right? So they can upload them, and then my team that's where it starts with, like myself, Hector, Chris, like that on the front end. And then when they get the documents back to us, right, we move it to our pre-approval. Right now, that's not just me looking at the documents. I have Marla on my team, who's a full-on underwriter. So I value underwriting so much that I moved it from the back to the front of the process, so that way she can underwrite the file and make sure that the way I set it up, Hector, Chris set it up, that it's going to meet all underwriting requirements. Okay.
What's the timeline? So today,
Today's Wednesday. If they can get me their documents back, let's say by Thursday. I'd want to have a pre-approval done by Friday.
Okay.
Okay. Now, depending on the how complicated it is. Like if they're truly like the majority of their income's coming from bonuses or overtime or whatever, I'm going to go do a verification of employment. I'm going to send it to their employer, and I want to get the employer to give me the averages, because I just don't want to assume, go off of what they tell me, or just look at a pay stub. So we'll go to that level on all loans, but I'm going to tell you, hey, if this one, I may need an extra day or two until that employer gets it back. Now, if the employer's on Work Number, where I can just dial it in, we pay the fee, they give it to us, great. I can get those back in minutes. There are some, though, that aren't. They're smaller companies, and we actually have to go to HR, wait for them to fill it out and send it to us. But our goal, we know that whenever a client engages with us, whatever day it is, more than likely, regardless if they tell us they're going to be looking to buy in 6 months, they're probably going to be out next weekend or that weekend, right? So if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they want to go look at homes on Saturdays and Sundays. So we know we got to try to get a pre-approval out by Friday so that you have it and you know what it is, so you're showing homes Saturdays and Sundays. If they come in on Friday or they talk to us on Thursday and they don't have documents back to us, we're going to make sure you know they're pre-qualified. We just don't have the documents to confirm it. And then we'll let you know, look, it's just a salaried position. Everything looks great. From that standpoint, we should be good, because we're not having to try to count overtime or commissions or self-employed, because those things you never know, right?
Gotcha. Well, let me ask you this. The other question, or the other scenario that always kind of is a challenge, is when do you lock? because say we need to extend the close date for whatever reason. How do you manage if you've already locked it?
Well, I mean, the extension is going to be because of,
It could be anything.
right, repairs.
It could
But you're
be
probably going to know that up front when you do the option period, right?
Well,
I mean, you're probably going to know a little bit of those things when you do option or when the appraisal comes back, right?
I mean, I've seen it all, so
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard to say it'll be done during the option period or whatever. I mean, we've had
Right.
to extend the last 2 or 3 days.
When I average 14 days on closings. I don't do 15-day locks. I do 30-day locks because that gives me 15 more extra days.
Okay.
Usually the
Okay,
pricing,
that works for me.
and it depends on the client, right? I mean, sometimes those clients are razor thin, and if
Yes.
I can save them, whether it be an eighth of a point in rate, or what probably typically happens is like, $250 or $300 in cost, because that's where you typically get the break, is in not necessarily in rate for a 15-day to 30-day. You get it in less cost to get that rate. So if it costs you $800 to get a 30-day lock, it might only cost you $400 to get a 15-day lock. So sometimes I can save money. So it depends on the client. If they really need it or want it that way, then we just got to communicate, hey, I'm going to do a 15-day lock, right? In all my locks, I have 5 days of grace.
Okay.
Okay, so when I know my extension is done, or when my lock is done, I have 5 days of grace that I have before there's costs to extend.
Okay.
Okay, and Saturdays and Sundays do count
Okay.
in days because they just lock by days. So, I don't really extend. I mean, because usually if I'm on a 14-day close, I'm locking for 30 anyway. So
You don't need to.
I really don't need to.
Okay. Let me take a quick pic of
Oh, of y'all too.
Yeah, I got one of you the other week. Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate you so much.
girl.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Yes, ma'am. You have cards. You know the email.
Yes.
You know the phone number. You got
Yes.
everything you need.
Yes.
A little less headroom. Like that headroom.
That's me.
I know. Oh, sorry. Like that kind of headroom.
That's better.
Is that better? Okay. Why are you still filming?
God, this is great.
This is the only time you're going to get bloopers on me. Hey, what's up at Instagram? I'm not even going to say what's up Instagram.
Yeah, it seems like you're having.
I'm having trouble with that. Hey, what's up, Instagram? Hey, I go into detail on each one of those 4 items, so you need to swipe up to hear more. Swipe up. Why does it always get me there? The only problem I have with this ball is it looks like it's a Denver Bronco color. Yeah, that's what happens, Brandon.
That's the only one I'm putting in.
That's what happens. That's the only one you're going to put in? Touchdown! We win! Boom!
We rolling, so action.
Hey, what's up, Bob Mortgage Nation? This is the 18th episode of the Bob Mortgage Zone. But you're going to have to follow me so I can help you. Oh, boom! You got your blooper for the day. Okay.
Definitely putting that in.
Right? All right.